PSA was brought to you by the Peter G Show.
You may have second thoughts after the show.
Don't drink the faucet. We're really talented. We should get Oscars.
Just pick out a fucking car, for Christ's sake.
No, hi, my name is Peter.
Yeah, I want.
Here's good.
Yeah.
Madam Perry.
I need to get back in the genie bottle.
Louis from Pennsylvania, you're on.
He likes it.
It's showtime.
Peter G Show, divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad, Peter G Show.
And that it is. It is showtime. Wednesday. I like Wednesdays. It's not really hump day for me. It's just a good day. Any day is a good day for me, but I hope it is for you too. Spring is in the air. How's your first week of spring doing, everybody? How the hell is everybody? I hope you're all doing well. I want to welcome you for joining me or going to be joining me or listening to me in the future after this show is long since over and you want to watch it on demand. But either way, I love you for it. But welcome to Life with Peter G, the Peter G Show, right here every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. on the East Coast. And most definitely, God willing, right here. Giving everybody a minute to catch up, join in. It's all good stuff. Got a really big show for you. Got a really good show for you tonight. Again, I'm kind of flabbergasted with all this nonsense that's going on with the, burning of Tesla buildings and cars and all this kind of stuff. It just gets under my skin, and I'm going to talk about it tonight. All right. I'm going to present more information to you on why this doesn't make sense. And for most of you, you know better. You know it doesn't make sense. But there's that 7%, and I now know it's 7% of the population that is just lost. Doesn't matter what you say, they're on a one-track destination. And it's not a good destination. It's the destination of idiocracy. Doesn't matter. Fall on the sword. Die on the hill. Whatever. I'm going to talk about it tonight because this is bad. This is really bad. Somebody's going to get hurt really bad or die or both. Because it's all fun and games until you poke an eye out. So we're going to talk about that tonight. And I'm going to do things a little bit differently tonight. I'm going to blow through a bunch of stuff right off the top of the show. As soon as I finish telling you what I'm doing, I'm going to do it as I always do, but I do it in a different order. And then tonight, we're going to call my longtime friend, New York Nick, down in the Gulf Coast because he has decided to pull the plug and call it quits after his 200 years of being in the business. He's pulling the plug on entertainment, his radio show, his bar. He's been, he's been in the entertainment business for a long time. And I don't know what the hell got into him. I guess he's just said enough is enough. And we're going to call him because I want to talk to him. I've only been catching wind of this here and there, and because I'm not there. And we're going to talk to him and see what it is that gave it the final I'm out. Because even when he says that, I don't believe it. I mean, one way or another, it's like he'll be out, but you'll be back. So we're going to call him second half of the show. But here's what we're going to do. Don't forget, please, I need you guys to subscribe. I love you guys for watching. I do. Don't forget to comment, especially if you want to comment. I need you to subscribe on the YouTube channel, the Peter G Show YouTube channel, all right? I need you to subscribe on the official Facebook Peter G Show. If you want to chat, not chat, we don't have time to chat. We can chat some other time. If you want to comment, you can comment live during the show, like right now, and I can see them most of the time. Sometimes they start flying too fast if everybody's getting anxious and I can't read them all, and I'll even put you on if I can. But that's the way you need to do it. I need you to. There's so many people I know that watch. I would want to say there's probably 3 times more people that watch that are not subscribed. And all I'm asking is, why not? It's free. Just hit the subscribe button. It'll notify you every time the show is on, and you can watch it live. And or if you miss the show, you can catch the show at any time you want at a later date on demand. It's that simple. And most importantly, it's free, folks. Couldn't be much easier. But that's the only favor I ask from you is just please subscribe. It just helps. It really helps the show, believe it or not. And it's free. You don't even have to do much. Just hit the subscribe button, okay? If you miss it, I get it. There's people right now, I've said it many times, in California or the, Pacific time zone. There's people still in their cars, not even home from work yet. They're just getting ready to leave work. They're in their cars. They got the long commute. You can put an earbud in your ear, Google Peter G Show podcast, take the audio version of the show with you anywhere you want while you're, I was going to say rehearsing. My memory reflexes is coming back, rehearsing. It's been a while. While you're exercising, while you're at work, while you're walking, whatever, while you're in the car driving, commuting, you can listen to over 400 shows. We're getting ready to hit our 300th multi-stream live show coming up soon. I think, what show is this? Show 290. This is the 290th show when we went absolutely live, multi-streaming and things like that. Now there's actually over 400 shows, a little over 400 shows. But the thing was, this is when we just changed the way we do things, and I actually started counting the shows, because in the beginning I was just glad to be doing a show. Not easy. It's not easy being me, I'm telling you. But anyway, take the shows on the road with you. Listen to them. There's so many different shows. I think I'm going to be having, I'm not even going to tell you yet, but I think I'm going to be interviewing somebody who wrote a book about Eddie Van Halen, and we're going to talk tomorrow. And he called, he contacted us. He wants to talk about his book. He was a magazine writer who followed Edward around for years, and he wrote a whole book. And I think that'll probably be very interesting. That might be coming up real soon, because I might squeeze him in. But all kinds of stuff, from music to addictions to current events, like right now, trying to keep you guys on top of things, because I know everybody doesn't have time to follow this kind of stuff. So leave it to me. Don't worry about it. I'll do the homework. I'll just present it to you. What you do with that afterwards, you just decide for yourself. I told you. I'm just here to present it. But a lot of people just don't know. So I'm here to bring it. All right? I'm bringing it. But that's what we're doing tonight. And then we'll have Nick. And tonight we're talking about, shame on these people with the whole Tesla stuff. And that's what we're doing. So let's start off. It's going to be a little bit different tonight. So first, salute. I hope everybody's doing well. And thank you. Keep on watching. Keep on sharing. And please subscribe. All right? Smooth. I like it. So, again, don't forget that you can comment live if you're on the official Facebook Peter G Show page, if you're on the official YouTube Peter G Show page, or the official LinkedIn Peter G Show page. You can comment live right now, and I can see your comments on the big screen. Can't see them on all the other channels, okay? So, I mean, there's some other places that we're on, but I don't have that ability. And that's why I'm telling you, it's like, take advantage of it. Why not? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? But anyway, that's where we're at. And I want to talk to you real quick, again, about all this stuff that's going on with everybody taking, you're so pissed off. Not everybody. There's a small percentage, but they are loud. And it was brought to my attention, okay? This is the left strategy, because, again, I don't mind. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions and own thoughts. But I, too, was a Democrat, but I could no longer hang, because about 15 years ago, I started seeing the fall of like craziness starting to come. I saw it. I pay attention to this stuff. And then by about year 5, it really started setting in, and that's when I said, okay, something's really not happening, and I'm out. And I've been, out of claiming to be a Democrat, so to speak, for about 10 years now. Almost. Yeah, about 10 years. Maybe 9.5, 9. Doesn't matter. Thing is, I saw craziness like starting to happen, and the thought process from common sense, let's have stability, it's Democrats for the working class people, and all that kind of stuff. They have become everything but that. And for those of you who are Democrats listening, your party has become everything but that. This is my opinion. And all I said was, I can't hang anymore. This doesn't make sense. I started seeing the Republican Party, and I hate parties. I hate this stuff, but this is what we have. And those guys, I was brought up to believe that they're all for the rich and blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you, again, things have changed, folks. When you got to get it through your head. They're not as they appear. That was long ago, and things change. Everything changes in life, including this. These Republicans, not all of them, they're weeding out the bad ones. They're one by one, but the majority of the philosophy now, they've become more Democratic than the Democratic Party, sticking up for the little guys. And I truly believe that. And if I tell you, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to try to convince you. You believe whatever you want to believe, but I'm here to present reasons. I think that's the hardest thing, is transitioning, getting to the point and saying, because that's how I was, saying, no way. Come on, that's baloney. But I keep bringing things to you every single week. Every single week, I keep trying to on these topics. There's so much news going on every single day. That's why I'm doing this. Because I know that there's many of you who don't have a clue because you're busy working, you're busy with life. There's a lot of things going on in our world, but you need to know this. And you pick up whatever you see on CNN and MSNBC and all that stuff, and you believe it because it's the news. The news cannot be trusted anymore. They're working for them. And that's hard to buy into also, but it's true. And again, I think that a lot of these my hardcore left people, you could put the facts right into their face, and with pictures and video of people admitting, yes, I did this, I did. And they'll say, yeah, but still, we rule. So there's all this stuff now. Trump appointed Elon Musk to go and fact find. He has no control over that. He's just to fact find and report. And that's what he's been doing because he's super smart. He knows how to put together a super smart team, and he's finding things and cutting into waste, fraud, and abuse, okay? That's the 3 key words. And he's finding tons of it, which goes in our favor because it's going to do nothing but keep our own money that's been going out the door for decades, probably. Decades. And what's really happening is we're cutting into all the thievery in government that's going into a lot of these senators, congressmen, NGOs, all these fake organizations, nonprofits. They're killing it with it. I always knew that. It's just how am I supposed to prove anything? Well, they finally found somebody with the balls enough to go in there and the smarts enough to go and find it out. But he's throwing a huge monkey wrench in their party, in their game. And now they're grabbing onto anything they can to rip, to try and just stop him from doing this because they're all going to get caught with their hands in the cookie jar that they've been in for years. So I don't blame them. So the Dem strategy, the left strategy right now, they have no, again, I would have stayed a Democrat, but there's no purpose. There is no purpose, right? There's no purpose. They don't have any kind of plan. They don't have anything that they say, well, we're better because they're just screaming, we suck. The right sucks. That's all they can do. And it's it's pretty comical nowadays. I think it's pretty blatantly obvious. And a lot of you, not all, just the 7%ers, even those who I watch these cut and paste meme people. They cut and paste these most ridiculous things you could think of putting out there, but they put it out there because they got nothing else to put out to make themselves feel better. And now we've started with the violence. We started with the violence, and here's the Democratic strategy. And it was, and I took it. It was a quote. It was if you want airtime, in other words, if you want to get their attention, to be on TV, to be in the face of the public, be disruptive. Be disruptive, make noise, violence, all this stuff, just whatever, screaming, yelling, accusations, whatever. It's never made sense. Hasn't made sense for years. But you people, some of you, the 7%ers, just swallow it up, hook, line, and sinker. But they have no message. There's no message. So until they have a message that I can say, well, now they're starting to get back to reality, and maybe I can go back there because there's real people back in there instead of all the lunatics we got now, I can't buy into it. So I'm out. But I'm here to present these things to help you out, to so that way you can make these choices and perhaps change your mind and make a wiser choice. Late but here. All right, better late than never. So I was getting ready to call the cops looking for you. There's choices. So I'm going to play. There's some things going on right now, and I want to talk about them. And the first one was this past weekend. All of a sudden now, Bernie Sanders, great grandpa, and AOC have teamed up because they're both socialists. You got the young generation, and you got him. And he's still got his faculties pretty much together, but I just don't agree with his ideas. I mean, he's better than some, but it's still not good enough for me. Sorry. And I know there are a lot of you there's some of even young people that like Bernie Sanders, but I'm not into being socialist. I'm just not. I don't think you'll realize the repercussions until we're so screwed that we can't get our way out of it. But they went and they did a rally in Colorado. So they had 34,000 people or something like that. And that's bigger than most of the crowds they can ever attract. But here's the thing. Kamala was getting some big crowds too, and they figured out that a lot of it was, people. They were bussing people in and paying them to go follow these rallies. Well, here's a guy that's pretty much they're doing the same game over there, but it was just one rally, but it was big enough to get talked about. So here, check this guy out.
Bernie Sanders, you have some explaining to do. Breaking news: Bernie Sanders wrecks himself. Here's what happened: Bernie Sanders and AOC had an event, and then he shared this. The video speaks for himself. 34,000 people out in Denver, the largest political rally there since 2008. The message is clear. No to authoritarianism, no to oligarchy, and no to Trumpism. We are ready to fight back. Now it's on to Tucson. All right, so that's what he posts. But guess what? There is a company that can triangulate cell phones and see who they are and where they are and what's going on. And here's the actual facts. The GPS data reveals that Bernie and AOC's turnout was not organic. Make sure you give this a heart. Make sure you comment. We got to make sure this goes viral. 84% of the devices present at the Bernie and AOC rally in Denver attended 9 or more Kamala Harris rallies, or Antifa BLM, pro-Hamas, Hamas, and pro-Palestine protests. 31%, 1 in 3 of the devices had attended over 20. So this is not 1985 where Bernie first became a great-grandfather. What's happening right now is technology can triangulate things and see the truth. So though they might tell you it was an organic, massive rally, that is not accurate. The truth is 84% of the people that were there had attended 9 or more Democratic, etc., rallies, and 1 in 3 had been at over 20. So though the media might tell you, oh, Bernie AOC, that's not accurate. What they want to do is try to create some manufactured excitement and popularity like they did with Harris, but that's not going to work. Look what just happened, right? They tried to create that with the media, but people didn't want that. Donald Trump won in a landslide, popular vote, all 7 swing states. So this is very important that you comment, like, share it, because we need to make sure that the truth is more popular and shown more than incorrect information. So this is just the beginning, and follow for more.
Isn't technology grand? See, They started figuring this out back when Kamala and they was campaigning, because it was just impossible. Because the truth is, we knew how unpopular she was, but they were manufacturing everything. They had to. She had to pay Cardi B millions of dollars to get people to come to see her because they wanted to see Cardi B and all that bullshit. So this is what they did. And because they have stats, because they've been triangulating cell phones and they figured all that out. I remember it was a couple of years ago when they were figuring that stuff out to see who was organic. Now you can say that Kamala voters or something were fans and they went to the Bernie thing too, but a lot of these phone numbers, went from big major other places in the country, and it just doesn't make sense. I mean, I like, people, but I don't go traveling millions of miles just to go to a rally, especially right now. So early on, it doesn't really matter. But this is just the baloney that we have to deal with, and because they have nothing, they're desperately grabbing. This is what's so comical, and we're just kicking back. It's like the more they keep doing this, the harder they're falling. It's just the way it is. They're also complaining about, how the Republicans. It's everything. Trump is for the rich people. And again, times have changed. This is not true. The Dems are richer. And here, it's not me saying it. These are just statistical facts.
There is such an irony to Democrats talking about oligarchy because, of course, for every one billionaire that backed President Trump, Kamala Harris had 2. 9 of the 10 richest counties in America are represented by Democrats. 65% of Americans making over $500,000 a year today are Democrats. 75% of hedge fund managers who make political donations donate to Democrats, and 95% of political donations from the top 3 management consulting firms go to Democrats. Meanwhile, President Trump absolutely crushed with Americans who make under $100,000 a year. The Democrats are the party of the wealthy. And Donald Trump is representing the working class because he simply lifted the pro-worker elements of the Democrats' agenda when they abandoned the working class to cater to their rich base. This is all performance art. And what's so upsetting about it is they are being paid by the American people to serve them, and they are doing nothing of the kind.
And it's the truth. Whether you love them or hate them, the tides have switched. Again, the Democrats used to be for the American working class. It's not anymore. And that's why it's so hard for people to grasp. It has completely switched because the Dems, which I was a Democrat, have just gone so crazy off to the side. I mean, I don't care what you like. You'd like whatever you want to like. I'm just presenting the facts. And for those of you who are saying, well, that's Fox News, it's like, you know why I have to use that? Because I'm definitely not, you're not going to hear any other news station, the CNN and MSNBC, they don't play these things. They won't. They just throw out accusations. But those are facts. Kamala Harris spent 3 times as much money, billions, $2 billion. The Trump campaign spent 1/3 of that. And the working class people shellacked their ass. So the people spoke. I mean, don't get mad at me. I'm just presenting the facts. That's all. I'm just putting it out there because they're so desperate because what they had did not work. It didn't work. And now all of a sudden, because Elon Musk, because we're going to be talking about all this Tesla stuff, Elon Musk is being hated for pointing out, and this is what kills me. He's pointing out listen, we found fraud here. We found, billions of fraud here. Hundreds of millions in fraud here. And then I get these people online and Facebook, of course. Well, if there's all this fraud, how come people aren't getting arrested? It's like, sit down and relax. They're gonna. But you just can't go and arrest people. It's complicated. They've got a million things going, but I promise you, they will. You have to get everything. You have to get everything in a row. It's complicated, but you people are just jumping. You want to hate. Now you want to hate Elon so badly. It's bad enough you hate Trump so badly. And now The guy who used to worship, for his electric cars, and you followed him, and it was the coolest thing in the world. I always thought Elon was kind of quirky. I didn't care. I don't hate him. I didn't take him one way or the other. But he's pretty freaking smart, and he's the richest man in the world. So you can call him all the names you want. He's doing something right, people. And the orange man saw that, and he thought enough to and again, you're pissed at him because he jumped ship to also. The richest man in the world doesn't need Democrat or Republican. But for the sake of humanity, decides to jump ship and go on the common sensibility side of the parties because he cares about humanity, whether you want to believe it or not. He doesn't have to have anything. Doesn't that make sense? He doesn't need more money. He doesn't need more power. He's got more than anybody. But there's a human part of him that says, I've got more than anybody, and I want to do the right thing or the best of his beliefs. Like, invent a company that's working on hooking up, wires and little mini computers and semiconductors to people's brains to help them walk who are paralyzed, to help the blind see. He wants to go to Mars, put rocket ships in the air. How crazy is that? Save freedom of speech. He spent $1 gazillion buying Twitter, which makes him no money, but he saved free speech because they were clamping down on. I got a big old gripe with YouTube still. They just sent me a big notification on how they're lightening up their, their conditions and talking about things. But at the same time, they're saying, but if you talk about this and if you talk about that, speaking of which, like the jab and all that misinformation, they're going to shut you down. So what they're saying was, yeah, we're loosening our stronghold on what you can say, but you can't. But we're still going to say that you can't say things. It just makes no sense. I am dying to talk more about the old jabberini and the effects and the after effects and all the things that are going on because of that, whether you believe in it or not. I have so much stuff I could present to you to show you how evil that whole deal was. And I can't. I mean, I can if I want to just keep it off of YouTube. But I want my YouTube people. I want my YouTube people because I realize there's a lot of people sitting on the fence that are willing to listen. But the bottom line is he bought Twitter. He didn't need Twitter. He don't need anything. He doesn't need anything. So you're going to attack him. They attack him about, he was so excited and he's waving to people in the crowd, and all of a sudden it became a Nazi salute, And it's just like anything you can get their hands on, to crucify the guy because now he's stepping on toes because he's taking money away from. And you know what pisses me off more about you, the people? Not everybody. The 7%ers. You're so pissed off about it as if he's taking money away from you because the people that have planted that seed in your head are making you feel like he's taking money away from you, which he's not. He's trying to put money back in your friggin' pockets. Or at least keep it, not even back, because we've lost, whether it's $5 or $500,000. For somebody, $5 is a lot of money. And he's trying to help on his own dime. And you guys are just following the bullshit trail and jumping on board for a guy that you used to love and praise and save the planet and clean green, even though I knew electric cars are not clean green. It's a big hoax, but they're cool cars and they do work, but they don't really save the planet. Either way, he's an innovator. He hires smart people and he's finding out things. And now the people that are going to be hung out to dry have made sure that they're going to get you to hate him too. It's not going to work. You can scream all you want. It's just, might slow us down a little bit, but it's not going to work. But here's Joe Rogan again with Elon and talking about all this crap.
What is it like to buy a company for $44 billion and then people call you a Nazi on that same thing that you bought?
I did not see it coming. It's a classic.
What is it like? Like all this, people used to, the left was in love with you.
Yeah.
And now the same idiots are calling you a Nazi. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life. There's so many examples of people saying my heart goes out to you.
Sure,
you did
sure.
it with a little enthusiasm that probably wouldn't be recommended with hindsight.
Yes, but it was obviously meant in the most positive spirit possible.
Yes, but it's so strange where people want to think that you are openly publicly doing secret Nazi Sieg Heil hand motions.
And now I can never point at things diagonally. I can only point at things there and there. And then you have to divide that.
Yeah.
Because that's where the spaceship is, over there. And it's ridiculous. They know it was obviously not meant in a negative way. That I literally said my heart goes out to you, and it was very positive. The entire speech was very positive. I was being very enthusiastic about the future in space. It's coordinated propaganda.
Yes, it is. It's coordinated propaganda. While I'm watching that, I'm thinking about all the things I see on Facebook. These people that just jump before they think. Look at him. He's a Nazi. And now you're hurting your own people who are on your side and, liberals and save the green, clean, and you're screwing up their cars. Not everybody can afford to just blow up their cars and go buy something else. And insurance companies aren't going to put up with it either. You're screwing your own people. You're screwing your own fan base. And somebody's going to get killed because of this, accidentally. And people are going to pay the price out of stupidity, getting all worked up. Just all worked up. That's what they do. And you fell right into it. It's my job to either piss you off enough to look into it a little bit more or just turn off the channel. You don't have to watch this. I'm not asking you to. But you should, for your own good. Because you've somehow or another you've missed something. And I get it. They're selling this stuff really well. You're fighting for your cause, but the only problem is you don't know what the cause exactly is. Besides, Elon sucks now. Now he sucks. You loved him before. You're like the crazy girlfriend. I love you, I hate you. Blows my mind. Look, so you know what? So Elon does that wave, but it's okay for AOC, right? Here's a quick little peek of AOC, waving to the audience. Here you go.
Verwendet habe im Dienste meines Volkes. Gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab. Wenn ja, dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingetreten.
It's the same exact thing. You're talking to a huge crowd. Like me, look what I'm doing. Look, jazz hands. Ya-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. You're talking to a huge crowd. Up there, down there, cross. Lighten the hell up. But they have nothing, so they're jumping on it. Look, I'm telling you, you want to talk to Nazis, you're even talking in German.
Verwendet habe im Dienste meines Volkes. Gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab. Wenn ja, dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingetreten.
Thanks, AOC, for pointing that out. That, anybody can do that mistakenly. It's just a wave. You're just pointing out to the crowd, whether your hand's this way, horizontal, vertically. So, Elon, I guess she's a Nazi also. But the Dems, they're blaming, again, for 4 years, ever since January 6th, the beloved January 6th, which was staged. That's all going to come out, too. You could say what you want. I was watching it. I know. There was instigators in there. Yes, there's probably some dumbasses that followed through too, but that thing was not real. And you can tell me all you want. That will be coming out because I know they're going to start getting to the bottom of that too. There's just so many things to get to. Plus, we have to turn everything around. All the screwing up. I was getting ready to use harsh language. All the screwing up that's going on. So we got to reverse everything. Now there's, daddy's home. The whole world knows that, there's some leadership again now. And he's proven that. You see all these businesses coming in, trillions of dollars within, 6 weeks. Committing to building and factories and all that. Joe Biden, he talked about stuff, but you never actually saw anybody actually say it. These leaders from other parts of the world and businesses, Hyundai and Apple and all that, they've literally been on stage saying, yes, we're coming. We're going to do this. Why? Because we got a leader now. But look, the Dems have been blaming the MAGA crowd and all this crap about we're the violent ones. And it's the farthest from the truth. But why believe
Here
me?
it is, double standard, loud and clear.
This MAGA crowd is really the most extreme political organization that's existed in American history.
They are threatening political violence, and they are attacking our democracy.
These Republicans and others are creating an environment of political violence. They are putting Americans at risk.
Democrats have never endorsed political violence, but he will go to a rally and he will endorse it. This is the equivalent of playing with a loaded gun and then it backfiring on you.
Your reaction, Caroline?
I heard the word extremism. What's extreme is the Democrat Party today, which is now applauding this political violence and domestic terrorism taking place across our country. What's extreme is the modern day Democrat Party, who wants President Trump to turn around planes full of gangsters, rapists, murderers, and foreign terrorists to bring them back to American soil. What's extreme is the Democrat Party that wants to keep men in women's sports and bathrooms and locker rooms. And what's extreme is a Democrat Party who wants to continue to spend hundreds of billions of dollars a year on useless government agencies that have done nothing to advance America's interests. Again, I will reiterate, President Trump is standing up for common sense and basic and fundamental American values, and all of this empty rhetoric from the left will not stop this president from doing what's right for the American people.
Fair enough. It's truth. Think about it. You know, I mean, all you guys got is that, you know, the created January 20th. Nobody says anything about that whole summer of love when the George Floyd and they created all that havoc and burning buildings down in different states. You know, all the billions of dollars destroying statues, all that stuff. It wasn't by me or anybody I know. It's by all the retards. Violence, violence, violence. That's, you know, like they said. Here's the Democratic strategy. I'll read it to you again. You know, if you want airtime, be disruptive. So start destroying things, screaming, yelling, threatening, all the above. That is what your party has gone to. It's just sad. And if I were you and you have any bit of common decency, I'd say, I'm not with them anymore. And believe whatever you want to believe and vote for whatever you want to vote, but I wouldn't be calling myself a Democrat because they have gone off the rails. You saw in the beginning of that video, it was Jasmine Crockett. She's screaming her loud mouth off too. She talks like an 18-year-old. She's Cardi D. I don't understand it. How did she even get voted into Congress? That's all they've got. If that's the best they've got, we are in deep shit, people. Or you're in deep shit. There's not going to be a party no more. I don't understand how it's so hard to find a couple of reasonable people to talk some decent proposal on how to run this country. Oh, yeah. Right now it's the orange man and all his people. Common sense. Because love them or hate them, you're going to be better off. And all I can tell you, you can tell me I'm full of crap all you want to do. I'll lay it to you like this. We will see. We are only 6 weeks into this whole damn thing, or 2 months, whatever it is now. It's nothing. All the crap that they got going on right now, he's got people running around like rabbits 24/7. And even when you want to break his balls about going to play golf, he's working while he's playing. He doesn't sleep. Not like old Sleepy Joe. You never even got him to the podium. He doesn't even need a press secretary. He's every day having conferences with the media at his desk in the Oval Office. Every single day. The media doesn't cover it, except for like Fox or some of the other cable independent internet stations. But you're not going to hear it from CBS, ABC, and MSNBC, CNN. They don't want you knowing all the stuff he's doing because it's all good stuff going against them. He's actually doing something. That's the thing. He's actually doing something. Old Joe, he couldn't hold a sentence. He had to have a card in his hand. He didn't know whether he was coming or he was going. I mean, and you guys chose to believe he was competent. You were so desperate that no matter what, he's doing great. He wasn't even calling the shots. Well, they'll find out all that stuff too. But here's Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi, she may be a woman and she may be blonde and this and that, but she's no pushover. And, he hired her for a reason, and she's in charge, and she's going to be taking care of all this stuff. But why believe me?
He's doing such a fantastic job. I thought maybe you could say a few words.
Thank you, President. As far as we are hearing a lot about fraud, waste, and abuse, a lot of waste and abuse, but there is a tremendous amount of fraud. And Elon, thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your team. You have uncovered so much fraud in our government, and we will prosecute you. We have an internal task force now working with every agency sitting here at this table. And if you've committed fraud, we're coming after you. Thank you, Elon, for that. On the violent crime level, thanks to President Trump's directive, we are seeking the death penalty again. So all of these horrible, violent criminals that you're hearing about around the country, they will face the death penalty federally within our country. And the drug dealers need to get out of here because we are coming after you. We're going to have 94 great U.S. attorneys around this country, and everyone will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Thank you.
Thank you, President. It's at your directive.
They ain't playing. They are not playing, folks. It's been 4 years of being kicked every single day and drugged through every single court, accusing him of everything. And again, there's those of you, it's like going to keep on insisting he's a felon and all this crap. And again, this is what kills me. It's like he was never arrested for creating for January 20th or insurrection. He was never arrested for it because he never did. They couldn't do it, but they kept accusing. You can keep accusing and keep doing, running around like tippy-toeing around it and screaming and yelling. Again, the Democratic strategy, if you want airtime, be disruptive. That's all they've got. Disruption, disruption, disruption. 24/7 because they have nothing else. There's no substance. There's no substance. So they're out and they're going, you know what? This shit's over. Those games and all these people in government that were just bleeding the system, and we just are worker bee ants just taking it. Every time they tell us, we're going to have to do this, we got to pay this, where things are going up for this and that, and we just have to accept it. Sucks. Sucks big time. You guys are all over the Orange Man and for Elon Musk for finding all this money in the federal Department of Education, which does nothing to help educate. It has nothing with teachers and all that. It's just money that they decide where to distribute, and you're getting all over. It's like we can't dismantle the federal Department of Education. It's going to hurt our children. Has nothing to do with our children. But if you don't know, you don't know. And if you listen to people like Maxine Waters and Pocahontas and all that, they're screaming and practically crying that they're going to steal your democracy and all that. Don't worry. Your democracy is going to be fine. Keep it in your pocket. Check it out.
Elon Musk is seizing the power that belongs to the American people. We are here to fight back.
The Doge program targeted at these bureaucrats.
Yes.
And so what can you expect?
Well, let's look at the Department of Education. The Federal Department of Education has a budget of about $280 billion a year. Less than 25% goes to educating our students. So where does the other $220 billion go? It goes to a bureaucracy. It goes to a consultant. And that consultant then donates money back to the Democrats. And then it goes to a different consultant. And then it goes to an NGO. I mean, it is money laundering and money churning at its absolute best. And you can look at almost every single agency and you will find it. So the brilliance of Doge isn't that he's going in and cutting spending. He doesn't have the authority to do that. We're the ones that have the authority to do that. What I want him to do is come up with a report, go through agency by agency by agency, identify every single program that we should not be funding, put a number attached to it. We slap a preamble on the front of that report, and we say that every single agency is having their budget cut by X amount as shown in the attached report, and none of those programs can go forward.
See, I think the reason you guys get so upset, not all, just the 7%ers who fall into line with when Pocahontas, is screaming and talking about Elon Musk is stealing this, Elon Musk is doing that, is because they need to create anger and fear. They need to create that for them to stand a chance, hoping you'll buy into it. Now, most of us don't. But there's those chosen few that still don't want to let go of the fact that it's a real good possibility that things are not what they seem, and that is the God's honest truth. But if you don't want to believe, you just keep on going, as was told to me, and I've said it many times, and I'll say it again. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own path. If you want to have that long walk off the short pier, that's your path. Up to you. But you need to be a free thinker. You need to not take what I say. You need to not take what they say. You need to take it into account, but then go sort out and figure out what the real deal is. Again, I'm not telling you what to think. I'm just telling you that what you are thinking, the 7%ers, I'm not saying, not to think that, but I am telling you, you're wrong. You're wrong. And if you'd like to come on this show and explain it to me to where I could say, okay, maybe I was wrong or I was wrong, you're more than welcome to, but nobody ever does because you're wrong. You just scream, get mad, screw Peter. I'm not listening to him anymore because you don't have an explanation. And I'm not here. I love you. I'm glad you are. I think that you're here watching me because you need to be here watching me. Everything happens for a reason. Maybe it's one little drip that may turn you on a year from now that opens up the door. Maybe not. Here's this guy's name, Damon Amani. He's a pretty smart dude. Now, this guy's from Iran. He knows what being held down it really is. He's pretty smart, but here, listen to him.
Remember when, under Biden, parents were going to these school boards protesting that, hey, we don't want our children to get exposed to all of this transgender and transformer LGBTQ stuff. And the Biden's DOJ and FBI labeled those parents as domestic terrorists. And then they got a pushback from the conservatives, people on the right, and the parents themselves. We're not doing anything. We're just protesting. We don't want books to be shown to our children. That was it. They got a pushback. You call me domestic terrorist? I'm not domestic terrorist. I push back. But now, the people on the left, they are burning Teslas, vandalizing all of these cars, taking over properties, destroying all of these stores. And some people on the right are having a conversation that maybe this is domestic terrorism. It is at least criminal. But they're calling them domestic terrorists. And these people, they're not pushing back. They are being called domestic terrorists, and they're not pushing back. They're owning it. They're owning it. They know what they're doing.
Does that make any sense? Let me break it down for you, for those who may have gone right over their heads. Not all, just the 7%ers. We were having issues these past 4 years because they're pressing on our children in schools to have drag queen happy hour or whatever, drag queen this, pushing books on sex education to grade schoolers. All this crap that was going on, this gender this and gender that, and you may look like a boy, but you may not be a boy. And kids are so vulnerable. And the parents are going, whoa, 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 what the hell are you doing? And they were getting enough power in the schools to tell the parents to butt out of their children's business. The teachers and the school has it under control. They will tell them what to think and teach them what to think. And the parents would go to these board meetings and all these meetings, and they had to have the cops there, and they were threatened with arrest and to be charged with domestic terrorism for trying to protect their children. I mean, how much worse do you want it than that? Domestic terrorism protecting their own children from the school system. Who's the domestic terrorist? And now we got people burning Teslas, burning dealerships, keying cars. Somebody's going to get really hurt on top of all the money they're costing your average people. They're screwing their own people because most of the people that bought Teslas, especially back in the early days, were all the libertarians and the clean green and save the planet and all that bullshit. They're hurting their own people. And you loved Elon for developing all this. And I mean, that back then, 10 years ago, whatever it was, not even. There was only, the Tesla came out, and then what was there? The Leaf, Chevy Leaf. There was only a couple of cars, but the Tesla was the leading brand, but not everybody could afford one. And then I watched my neighborhood go because I walk a lot, and going from, I was counting Teslas to where every 1 in every 3 cars is a friggin' Tesla. And now you hate the guy. And you're trying to hurt him, which you're not hurting him at all. It sucks. It might hurt his feelings a little bit, but you're hurting the average working person. You're hurting the person that had to buy that car that needs to claim insurance, and insurance is going to screw them over because you burned their car down. You keyed it. You burned these dealerships down. These are just people that own it. Elon Musk does not own all that. Stupid. Wake up. And if you know people that are in the 7% range that are, part of this whole march or protest, whatever you want to call it, help them see the light, because it's the delusion. They're so lost and so deep involved. Somebody needs to slap them up. Wake up. It's stupid. You're hurting your own people. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Charlie Kirk, this young guy, has a thing called Turning Point USA. He goes around to colleges and he talks openly because there's so many ill-informed college students because they're being indoctrinated on these college campuses, and they come up and they try to challenge him. And he's really smart and he's calm. It's not like me. He's really smart, and he just puts them to shame. And I just want to give you an example, because this is what's going on in our colleges. It's like they're not teaching our kids. They're not teaching our kids the things they need to learn. Here's Charlie Kirk.
I think you guys hate Elon Musk so much because he used to be on Team Left, and now he's on Team America, and he's putting his money where his mouth is. And
I don't like him because he's annoying and he has bad politics.
Oh, because he has bad politics.
No, and he's annoying.
So it's like a personal thing?
A little bit, but also he has bad politics.
Do you think he's done anything remarkable?
Depends on what you consider remarkable. It's
like, I don't know, launching rockets into orbit and then landing them?
The one launching the rockets, his employees are.
Okay. He's the inventor and the innovator of SpaceX.
He only has 4 patents to his name. Most of those are for the Tesla Model X, not for anything related to SpaceX.
And how many do you have to your name?
I'm not trying to be Elon Musk.
Yeah, it's so easy to criticize. I don't like Elon.
No, I'm not trying to be him.
No, I think maybe you should just have a little bit more awe at what this guy has built and what he has done.
Shouldn't we just be against the interests of any of elites?
No, I'm not against the idea of elites. You're always going to have people at the top of something. Top of an institution, top of a school, top of a sporting event. The question is, will those people be noble and have duty, courage, and strong ethics? That's always been the question.
So then why are you touting Elon Musk as a good example of
Because he's a great example. He gives a lot of money away. He also bought X, which saved freedom of speech in the West, $50 billion that allowed us to speak freely. And he's now sacrificing a lot of his time where he could be on a yacht in Monaco trying to find waste in our federal government so that your taxpayer dollars are better spent. That is an example of a noble elite. What would you like to have him do? He's worth $400.
Give away more of his money to other causes, because it seems like
you mean left-wing causes.
Nobody is going to use $450 billion in their entire life.
That's not. But he gave away $50 billion basically for Twitter. He's not going to make money on that. He gave hundreds of millions of dollars on political stuff. He's given away billions of dollars charitably.
I can go on and on with him. I mean, he does a lot of these, and some of the people that get up and talk, he stops them dead in their tracks. That one was like, okay. But the kid, they're all twisted. They're so twisted. They want to be, they want to hate. They want to hate. What if we didn't invent the light bulb? Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb because he just didn't want to be like Thomas Edison. We have to have these innovators. We have to. There's got to be leaders, and they're going to be elites. Look at this. Hi, Pete. Wow. Better late than never. We have to have people leading and creating, and there's going to be all different levels of people in life. There's going to always be that. But you're going to hate everybody for being that? It'd be different if he was, he's not even like an arrogant asshole. He's this guy that just has a million thoughts in his head to do things. And he's doing all this for the country for free. So how does this make sense that you're going to hate this guy? By the way, the orange man, our president, doesn't get paid either. He didn't take a paycheck. He's the only president that didn't take a paycheck. All the other presidents have taken their paychecks. He's the only president that's going to walk out of office with less money than when he started. That happened the last time. Whereas most of the presidents have become richer after being during and being president. I mean, what does that say? Both these guys didn't need this headache. So you can hate the man all you want, or both of them all you want, but again, we'll see. Let's talk about what the hell's going on? I got hypocrisy. Can we talk about that? Because this is AOC. Again, this woman, she may have somewhat of a college education, but she is not smart. There's a difference. You're going to have to trust me on this. I know tons of educated people that are friggin' idiots when it comes to real life. This is just a loudmouth woman who hasn't really done anything in Congress, but she stays elected. I don't know how it happens. And if you want to stand behind her and tell me how awesome she is, tell me one thing she's done besides scream and yell. Again, the Democratic strategy. If you want airtime, be disruptive. She is definitely disruptive. She's got that crazy eye shit going on. I couldn't imagine being married to her. Here you go.
Brian Tyler Cohen, a leftist influencer, believes that this video with AOC is a home run. How do I know? Well, he published it. It's not.
Every time you see Tom Homan on Fox News, every time you see Kristi Noem, every time you see these law enforcement officials doing flashy television interviews, understand that they are taking resources away from looking at human trafficking. They are taking attention and focus and real dollars and real resources away from actual drug enforcement, trafficking enforcement, actually going after and actually trying to investigate really harmful activity that is happening. And so it's harmful in every aspect.
So let me get this straight. AOC, a government employee, is bashing other government employees because she doesn't believe that they should be able to do interviews while on the clock because that's a waste of taxpayer dollars. As she, a government employee, is doing an interview while on the clock. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black.
You're watching the Kramer Says Project.
I like Tim Kramer. He pretty much tells it like it is. He was on our show last year. Probably get him back sometime soon, hopefully. He doesn't take any crap. AOC doesn't really understand even the difference between capitalism and socialism. It's a fact. It's real simple, and these are her own words. We're going to hear it. This is what makes me so irritated. She just screams. It's just noise. It's noise. There you go.
When I think about what those definitions are, capitalism it's an ideology of capital. The most important thing is the concentration of capital, and it means that we seek and prioritize profit and the accumulation of money above all else, and we seek it at any human and environmental cost. That is what that means.
No, wrong, so wrong. It's exactly backwards.
And I'll prove it to you. Been on Amazon lately? Each of the thousands of products Amazon offers represents the work of people who believe they have something you want or need. If they're right, they prosper. If they're wrong, they don't. That's how the free market works. It encourages people to improve their lives by satisfying the needs of others. No one starts a business making a thing or providing a service for themselves. They start a business to make things or provide services for others.
When we talk about ideas, for example, like democratic socialism, it means putting democracy and society first instead of capital first.
In a socialist economy, the government has the ultimate power. It decides what you get from a limited supply it decides should exist. Instead of millions of people making millions of decisions about what they want, a few people, government elites, decide what people should have and how much they should pay for it. Not surprisingly, they always get it wrong. Have you ever noticed that late-stage socialist failures always run out of essential items like toilet paper?
Because at the end of the day, as workers and as people of society, we're the ones creating wealth, not a corporate CEO. It's not a CEO that's actually creating $4 billion a year. It is the millions of workers in this country that's creating billions of dollars of economic productivity a year.
I speak from personal experience. When I was the CEO of the company that owns Carl's Jr. and Hardee's restaurant chains, we spent millions of dollars every year trying to determine what customers wanted. If our customers didn't like something, we changed it, and fast. Because if we didn't, our competitors would, pun intended, eat us for lunch. The consumer, that's you, has the ultimate power. In effect, you vote with every dollar you spend.
And that's why the emphasis in democratic socialism is on democracy.
Capitalism leads to economic democracy. Socialism leads to the economic dictatorship of the elite. Always and everywhere. So beware what you ask for. You just might get it. I'm Andy Puzder, the author of The Capitalist Comeback for Prager University.
I hope you learned something. She is a dumbass. Very simple. She is not a leader. But a lot of people get lucky in life and get to be in positions that they, if had the chance, could have the opportunity to be a good leader, but sometimes you're just not cut out for it. She's not a leader. I mean, she's a leader, but through noise, through screaming and yelling. Again, the Democratic strategy, if you want airtime, be disruptive. Can't say it enough. And she is definitely numero uno in that department. She is a screamer. She brings nothing to the table but noise, conflict, destruction, fear. That's what she does. All right, here's what we're going to do. I told you it was going to be a different kind of night tonight. We're going to take a quick, short commercial break from my good friends over at Clean Star Products with their money-saving fuel additive DX1 driver, and then we're going to call my old friend New York Nick, who's calling it quits after 200 years of being in the entertainment business, but that's what we're going to be doing, and don't go nowhere. I'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Tyrone Thompson of CleanStarProducts.com. This is DX1 Driver in the news, and here's what our friends have to say.
So I'm here to recap on the DX1 I've used. I put it in oil and I put it in the gas. While I'm using it just for about 3 tanks. Cleaned everything out. I got every ounce of power back in my truck.
When Jared's truck was new, it had a lot of power. Then over time, it began to slow down. He got it all back with our DX1 driver program.
Something you got to see for yourself. It's a great product. It's affordable. And it blows all the other additives and esters out of the water.
DX1 driver is the finest oil in the world from a California environmental company. It goes into the fuel system and the oil. It's the only green grade product qualified for the carbon credits program, giving you better fuel mileage, lower emissions, and increased horsepower. So join the fuel savings revolution today. Go to CleanStarProducts.com/shop.
That's right, folks. Clean Star Products. I have 2 words to tell you about their product. It works. Wouldn't have believed it, but I use it myself. I say this every week because it is true. Notice the difference between using it within about 3 to 4 different, 3 to 4 tanks. of fuel, putting it in. It's real simple. Take this little bitty bottle right here. This is actually the big bottle. Here's the little bottle right here. It's the difference. Look at that. This is for V8s, SUVs, trucks, regular sedans, whatever you drive. When you go to change your oil, you put one of these little bottles into a clean oil change. It lasts the whole oil change. After that, every time you fill up your tank, you put one of these bottles in the tank and then add the fuel, fill up the tank, and just drive. It's that simple. Told you, I noticed a difference within about 3 to 4 tanks. Started feeling more response from the pedal. I didn't have to step on the pedal as hard. I have a heavy F-150. It's heavy. One of the last of the good ones. Higher mileage truck. I won't ever give it up. I love this thing. I know how it breathes. Took my daughter home from the hospital when she was born in this thing. I will not let it go. I am going to own it until it can't go anymore. I will nurse it. I will take care of it. And how do you take care of it? Good food, good body. Clean Start products right here. Put their DX1 driver. Good food, good body, just like you. But don't believe me. Don't believe me. Just go to their website, www.cleanstartproducts. Here's a number right here. There's a number on the bottom of their website. Call that number. They will answer all your questions personally. In fact, they want you to call them. Tell them you saw it on the Peter G Show, because should you decide to order, you will get 5 bottles for the price of 4. That's right, folks. Who's got it better than you? Mention that you saw it on the Peter G Show. They will send you 5 bottles for the price of 4. And that's the perfect starter kit. I think that should make a believer out of you. Put 1 in a clean oil change and then 4 tanks of fuel. You will notice the difference and get better gas mileage. You'll notice that you'll go further before you have to put that next tank of gas in. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Just make sure you mention it that you saw it on the Peter G Show to get that extra deal. All right? It's real simple. Here's the deal. They know what I do and they still sponsor me. So God bless them. All right? Let's see what we got here. Let's see what Paul's got to say here. Maxine Colostomy Bag Waters needs to be arrested along with the rogue judges. Yeah, all of them. They're all just screamers and yellers. Paul, thanks for chiming in. Don't forget to watch the Peter G Show each and every week. And subscribe. There we go. Let me, where are we at now here? We'll go here. All right, here's what we do. We're going to dial up old Nick. New York Nick from the Gulf Coast. See if we can get him on the line here. See if we can get him on the line. 1 ringy dingy. 2 ringy dingies.
Yes, dear.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Gulf Coast. New York Nick. Do I got you?
All right. Should I get on the speakerphone or should I stay like this?
You sound good like this. You can try the speakerphone, but if it sucks, I'm gonna have to put you on direct.
Okay. Well, how does that sound?
Oh, you're okay. Just don't get too far away from it.
I'm right here. I'm at the desk. The door's closed. I'm in the office.
Okay, I can live with that. I think.
The rumple's flowing.
The question is, can my audience live with that?
Your audience can live with that, but the rumple is flowing. I just want to let you know that.
Oh, that's good. So I wish I was there. I you know what? I haven't touched that stuff since the last time I saw you.
Well, Mike Ashby wanted to let me know that to tell you personally that the rumple is flowing.
Jesus. How is Jesus?
Touchdown Jesus. He's back. He's a rare form. He does his yearly trek to Vegas for the first week of March Madness. So
so he's not but he's when is March Madness? It's now, isn't it?
It's already started the first week. Jeez, Pete, it's March. It's madness.
I guess it is. I got my own March Madness. I got everyday madness going on. Okay, so let's go back. I got heard through the grapevine months ago that you were calling it quits. You're getting out of the your business, and you're gonna then you stop doing your radio show and all this stuff. Can you give me a little quick synopsis, or give my audience a synopsis of how this all came about for you checking out earlier after your 200 years of being in entertainment?
Well, long story short, I was approached. I had a long-term lease. I got approached, and then somebody asked me, "Do you want out? Are you done?" I said, "Yeah, I'm kind of done. I'm 65 years old. I worked 50 New Year's Eves, Pete. 50, count them, since I was 14. So I'm just done. The landscape has changed. I'm not chasing skirts around the bar anymore because I can't catch them. Number one. I'm just done. Everything has come full circle. I'm taking all of my toys, all of my collectibles, all my collection, and I'm gonna actually sell everything online eventually. That's gonna be my retirement fund. That's gonna be my last hurrah, is to sell everything, and it's gonna make me happy. People don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. They don't think that I can part with everything that I have, but it makes me happy that somebody wants to pay me money for the stuff that I have collected and gathered and had for decor in my 25 years of ownership. And it's on to the next person's. And that's it. I'm done. Especially even the radio. I've been curating rock and roll set lists since 1977, before you were born.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because I wasn't born until the mid 80s. But in another generation, another world. But let me just tell everybody. So New York Nick is in the Gulf Coast, in the Florida Gulf Coast, and he owns a bar that he also made sure that when he put this bar together, he had basically a what do you want to call the mausoleum? What would you call that entertainment wise?
It was a broadcast center. I call it the living mausoleum because that's where, if I died, I wanted to have my casket rolled in right in there. People could walk by, come in, drink, view me, and then say goodbye.
Okay.
But it was a beautiful thing, and it was a nice broadcast center. I mean, I had all of the analog mediums, from reel-to-reel decks to 8-tracks and cassette players, and I did all the old-fashioned stuff, and broadcasted to the world on my radio station.
Which we then took, and we would go on to Facebook for those of the listeners and viewers who have caught the Facebook lives. And God, the one thing that we will have is many of those that will keep popping up through time, because I will make sure of it. just because.
I sent you a picture. One of the last, when I was taking my stuff down off the top shelf, all my 8-tracks and cassettes, I still had the call in that you made for me with my phone number on it.
Yes.
I just sent you a picture of it.
I saw it, but I couldn't get it transferred into the show to show it to my audience. Now, see, this is what blows my mind. In my mind, I thought, okay, you're changing hands. Somebody new has bought the bar now, and I heard that the guy that bought the bar is a Bob Seger fan, and he's going to call the bar Main Street.
Well, you're wrong, but that's a nice try. I could care less. There's 3 people that are buying it, 2 silent partners that I know, and 1 managing partner that I know. But on April 9th at 8:31 a.m., after I look at my bank account, they can call the place the Swifty Saloon for all I care.
Okay, but see, I thought that everything was going to stay like it is, and then all of a sudden, when you shut down to transfer, it was going to be like something out of the White House. Like it was going to be an overnight, or a day or so, changeover to I didn't know what was going to happen. I just that was in my mind how you were going to do it. But everything's missing now. I have a naked bar right now.
There is a naked bar right now. They are actually going to open the door the same day that we sign the papers. They're not going to miss a beat, though, and they'll do the same thing happened down the road at Intermission with Mike. They bought, they signed. He had it one day. They did the closing that morning, and they were right there, gutting the place out and doing this and doing that right away. So they're not going to miss a beat either. Of course, it's the beginning of beat season, so they're going to have plenty of time to work out their kinks and do what they got to do. And good luck to them. I'm done. I've exhausted myself.
All right, now this is where I want to get into. Okay, so for those of that before you were in the bar business and things like that, you were an actual radio DJ, rock and roll, old school. This is how this all came about, and that's how I first met you. I mean, when back in the Franco's days, I still call you the voice of Pensacola when you were introducing the bands and things like that, right?
Jesus, the Franco. That's when I got down here, and that was my first job. I was DJing between the bands and doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff like that. But that was That was part of what I was doing between bartending and DJing down here. That was the last 44 years.
But no, there was also TK 101. You were an actual radio DJ, radio station DJ.
Because I did radio. Yeah, because I did radio in college, and I know there was really no money in it. It was a glory thing where you got free music, you got free concert tickets and stuff like that. So it was great to be on the radio. I didn't do it down here because at that time that they wanted me to go back on the radio, these people down here and do FM, because they're always looking for on-air talent. I was bartending on the beach and I was having a blast. I mean, I was looking at, I got to look at girls for free all day long and do that thing and bartending out there. So they finally talked me into it. And long story short, the two DJs quit on a Super Bowl Sunday, and the DJ, the head DJ called me and said, "Please," and I said, "Okay."
Yeah, a lot of stories, a lot of memories. Again, a lot of great times and some weird times, but mostly great times. And but here's the thing that really I'm going to tell you right now. Oh, wait, sorry, I took a sip, and Paul just wait a minute, I got to take a sip of this. Smooth. There you go, Paul. I did it earlier. I only want to do smooth one time a day, and then I can take sips. I don't have to say smooth every time I take a sip. For God's sake, I got to tell you, I don't care about your memorabilia and all this. So that I believe you will sell it. I do, but what I don't believe is, I don't think after about 6 weeks you're going to know what the hell to do with yourself.
Listen to me and listen carefully.
Dearly beloved.
Dearly beloved. Listen, Pete.
I'm listening.
I am done. I don't want to see people. I don't want to see anything. I'm going to miss 18% of this business, and that's the people that I like, the enjoyable part of the business. The rest of it, behind the scenes, it is just you see me when you walk in the door. It's like, geez. Especially being a hands-on owner. Yeah. I will listen carefully. I will be spending the summer just deciphering everything that I've taken out of here, number one, and then getting it cataloged and categorized and ready for me to start selling online. I've got different people who have different avenues to sell my stuff, from everything from Facebook Marketplace to Discogs for my music to the memorabilia stuff. To that's going to take up 10 to 15 years of my life if I live that long. I got to start selling off all the stuff that I have. I mean, I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces.
Okay, but now here's the hard part.
But me, you think that I'm going to be back on the radio? You think I'm going to be back? If I do anything, I'm telling you right now, I will be washing dishes in the back of a restaurant somewhere in the corner.
I'm going to hold this videotape too. Believe me. Look, I'm not saying you're going to be back, but I didn't say you're going to be back on the radio. But I just have this feeling like, number one, your poor wife, I need to have her on the show because she's almost going to be like being married again.
I'm going to have to I can't sell her. I found out there's laws against that.
Oh.
I mean, since I'm selling everything,
uh-huh.
I might drive her out of the house by cranking up my old-fashioned surround sound that I hooked up a few weeks ago, and she was looking at me funny, and I said, well, watch this. I only hit up to number 3. And
wait, how many years you been married?
Too many.
Okay. But
it'll be 24 in a couple of weeks.
So you've basically had a bar the whole time, right?
Oh yeah.
And you were married to that. Let's face it, owning a restaurant, a bar, or whatever. You're married. I think you literally spent more time at the bar than home was just a place to go sleep and stuff, right?
Well, of course. I have a mistress, and her name is Badlands.
Yeah.
The name of let me put it this way. I never kissed my wife on New Year's Eve.
Unless,
ever, because I'm always working. I was always running the places.
This is going to be different.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out New Year's Eve.
I want to do a reality show. I want to put cameras all in the house. We want to follow you around. It's like, I don't know what we can name this yet, but it's like Nick, retirement or death, whichever comes first. Because you're going to become normalized, and I don't know if your wife's going to be able to take it. It's like,
Pete, I'm telling, as God is my witness, I want to be alone. I want to be alone, away from people, off demand. Every time I walk to this place, there's people waiting for me to do this, to say that I'm in town. It's my turn to drink. It's my birthday. It's my anniversary. I haven't seen you in 10 years. And I'm that's it. I've been exhausted. I don't know how people when they get out of their careers, they want to keep doing something else. Maybe they don't have something to keep them occupied. I have so much to keep me occupied. I'm hoping that I outlive everything that I have to do before I die.
No, I get it, because I never get bored either, but I see a lot of people who retire and they just go to pieces because they don't know what to do with themselves, which blows my mind. Now, again, the career's been good. I mean, and if you enjoy what you do and you want to keep on doing it, well, God bless you. I get it. Having to cater to people, it's a tough one. I'm just here to poke you a little bit and tell you that I don't care how much you retire. It's like, this is going to be a fascinating transition, and I wish I could be a fly on the friggin' wall.
In 3 months, I'm going to be a footnote, and then you're going to be saying, "Where's Nick? Anybody see Nick?"
Yeah.
And then in 6 months, it's going to be Nick who?
I guess. Or are you going to be out and being elbow to elbow with Mike Ashby?
No, I won't. That you will not see me doing that. I'm boy, I don't know how to say it in any different way. I'm done. I want to be done. I want to be. I'm going home in September for a month. I got 2 nieces getting married 2 weeks apart. I'm taking a month off. I'm going to drive home, and I get to see my family and friends. You got to remember, I came down here for spring break 44 years ago. 10 days turned into life.
Yeah.
I'm not going. I'm not traveling. I'm not doing this that people think that I'm going to be doing. I did it all. I've been to 800 concerts in sporting events. I've been in the bar business. I've seen tens of thousands of people spring break every year. This, that. I did all the great things when I was young. Now it's just part of my life story, and I'm out. I'm 65. There's no fountain of youth out there, Pete. We've all tried to find one, and it doesn't exist.
Oh, look, I believe that you're out. I just don't know what the hell you're going to do with yourself. I don't think that even though you got a lot of stuff to do, it's like you can take the shit out of the boy, but you can't take the boy out of the shit, or whatever you want to call it.
I'm telling you, it's going to be nonstop photographing, writing descriptions, putting the stuff online, selling it, packaging it, shipping it, and it's going to put a smile on my face every time somebody says, "Yes, I want that item." And I'll be liquidating. I'm liquidating everything that I have. I don't want to be gone and I have all this stuff that I have, and the family sticks a stuff out in the yard with a dollar sign on it when the record's worth $75. And I got a couple thousand records like that. So it's like,
So everything's going. All the vinyl, all the old 8 tracks, and all that stuff. Everything's going to whoever feels they want it, right?
Everything's going. You know what I'm keeping? I'm keeping the DVDs and the VHS concerts because I can stick them in and I can play them, and I got the surround sound. I can see it and I can hear it.
Okay.
All the rest of the stuff is going. I'm selling everything to the people who appreciate it. Because I see the stuff online, and there's stuff that I've never seen that I know that I have. So yeah, so that's it. That's my plan of attack.
Okay, because I don't want to see you and no, nothing against all this stuff, but I don't. I go. He's gonna get so friggin' bored. He's gonna join the Moose Lodge, and he's gonna become one of the loyal Order of Water Buffaloes.
I changed my name to Fred Flintstone.
You got it. You actually got it. That's pretty good. And I go. You're gonna become the Grand Poobah. Because I don't see you sitting your ass. After a while, I just think like the walls are going to close in on you. I'm going to go, where do we go find Nick at? Where's he hanging at?
You guys, you guys have this false belief that I'm going to be this, that, missing, yearning and longing for it again.
No. Just wanting to be, out on your own terms now.
I am out on my own terms.
Well, you know what I mean. I mean, like hanging out on your own terms. Not having to get behind the bar because it's getting busy.
Pete, I'm 65 years old. I did all the hanging, all the dangling, and all the rest of that shit that went along with being bar owner, bar manager, bartender, all the way back to a busboy at 14. I lived my dream. Everything I wanted to do came true. The only thing that did not come true was that I was supposed to go back and graduate and go to Vegas, where Uncle Nick was. That was supposed to set me up. That's the only thing that didn't come true. I got down here and I never left.
Well, okay.
So I did well here.
Maybe we can do this. I mean, is there any way? I know the house you bought was a new house, but maybe we could take like one whole side of the house and make it all glass to where like we could drive by like and watch you like watching a hamster cage or something. See what Nick's up to.
I'll tell you what, you can walk around the yard and you can look in the media room, the fourth bedroom that's all set up for the media.
Yeah.
Where I'll be doing all my work, and you'll see me sitting in there doing all my shit.
See, because I was just thinking, I go, after a while, I'll give you 6 months, and I go, you at least do a radio show once a week for a couple of hours. I mean, but you don't even have to have.
I don't want to be obligated to anything ever again.
Well, I get it. Oh, well, I see even obligated. I mean, shit, most people, you can come and go as you please. It's not like it's big corporate, contracts or nothing like that. We've already proved, been there, done that. Right. But, well, I don't know. Look, I'm just raising the questions that have crossed my mind through the past few weeks, kind of contemplating this. I know you got stuff to sell, and I know that you've had enough. Believe me, I understand dealing with people. I do. And that's probably why I was never in that business. But, but I just wanted to ask you these things for the audience to hear it from you, and I wanted to, really document that you're done, and just in case anything changes, I can pull up this tape again.
Yeah, I don't see. Geez, I don't see. Let me put it this way: if I won the lottery, I wouldn't want to do it because I won the lottery. They didn't make me a millionaire, but they paid me off and paid me enough to walk away and take all my toys and go home and ride off into the sunset or something. But I don't see anything that's going to make me say, you know what, I'm gonna do this again. I can't play I can't play a different set list anymore as far as the rock and roll radio thing. Now doing something like what you're doing, some kind of a talking podcast. Yeah. I've had people approach me that I should write a book and that I should do a podcast of all the shit that I've done and talk about it. Do a different decade here and there and pull out my pictures, have a photo album in front of me and start talking about shit and tell stories about the stuff that I did and how I did it because I lived reality. And the best thing is I have witnesses that were doing the same thing with me.
Huh. So if ESPN calls and they need a commentator, you're not up for it, huh?
No, I'm sported out. Oh, that's one thing I won't do. I'm sported out. I am done with sport. I can watch the teams that I like in a game here and there, but I owning a sports bar for 13 years before this bar.
Yeah.
Holy, yeah. Wow.
Okay. All right. Let me cross that off the list here. Well, here's what. Okay. I get it. I totally get it. I'm just throwing things at you because I want to know the do's and don'ts, and we're solidifying this. We're setting it in stone, kind of, sort of. Doesn't really matter. But I just had all these questions, and because I didn't talk to you on the phone, and I said I'm going to wait and see if I can get you on the air, and then just talk to you as if I was talking to you on the phone, and have a little bit of fun and hear what's really going on. And so when's the closing day?
Well, we build it as the final pour with the final four, and then I'm out the door because I have no more.
You little whore.
Now, that is going to be... Now, next weekend is the final four. I got 13 days left. So next weekend is the Saturday the 5th is the final four. Monday the 7th is the national championship, and that's it.
All right. I had this hope. I said, because when I heard these rumors, I go, well, it can't be too soon, but it happens a lot sooner. Unfortunately, I will not be able to wish you well on the final pour, but I'm sure I'll get to see you if I can get you to come out the door one of these days, or one way or another. I'll see you or whatever. But it's been a good run, and we had a lot of fun. Can we at least agree on that,
Pete? The memories when the memories pop up on that Facebook feed.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, some of the stunts that we pulled in that booth and on that radio show were epic, and all the extra, the extra 9 yards you went with between the lighting and then the when you made the call in with the phone number and the extra wiring to get the sound even better with the Facebook Live. I mean, you went above and beyond, and that was something you did for that labor of love. You did it out of the goodness and the kindness of your heart. I'll never forget that.
Well,
when I was taking things down in that booth, I thought about you 84 different times.
I know, but then why would you always give me the look like you wanted to kill me every time I'd bring up a new idea?
Because I was doing a simple little broadcast. It wasn't like I was, it wasn't like obviously I was broadcasting worldwide and doing that kind of thing, but I was trying to, what is it, that stupid the KISS thing, keep it simple, stupid. Yeah. I never used that because I hated KISS. So.
Well, either way, I gotta say, I'm not just because it was us, but I gotta say, out of all your guests and things like that, I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say we did the funniest shit. We did.
You were the best. You were the best. People. The only thing that was that people wanted more of was when I had some hot chicks in there on Facebook Live, and of course they run, put her on. Where's she from? And is she going to be there in an hour?
Yeah, they're not dependable. They're not dependable. I used to have that problem when I was doing my Christmas cards. It's like you got to call 5 of them to try to hope to get one.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
They tell you a week before I want to be on your radio show, and then they never show up the next Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. But I just know that I go when I look at all those old memories and some of the I go listen to you were just fun to feed off of. It was funny. It was good stuff.
We were natural together. It seemed to be when we were doing that stuff in there.
Well, that was our friendship, and it just working in our favor for a change. But all right, look, I wish you the best. I love you, and it was a lot of fun. Now I don't know where the hell am I going to hang out now. But I have to. Everybody's gone. The whole downtown has just changed.
Pete, it's every year is different. There are people. I mean, look at Mike. Yeah, I mean, it does. Every year, things change. Larry Johnson sold the azalea. I mean, Wayne sold the sake cabinet. I mean, everybody's. We're not getting any younger. No one, like I said, no one's found the fountain of youth. And when you get to be up here and getting up in age, it's just time to be done. I think I really know the future. I think I really know that I don't want to be any part of it anymore, or I would. I think the only way I would do it, Pete, is if I went back home to Syracuse and did it up there.
Yeah, but see, the whole thing was I fell for that whole, when you die, your coffin is going to be right there in the whole living mausoleum with the tape. And I'm going, well, shit. That's I was like living for that. I go, I better live longer than you because, I got to see this. This is good. That'll be spectacular.
Well, I outlived the living mausoleum. So
yeah.
They're gonna turn it into maybe into a dart room to throw darts, or I don't know what they're doing. And like I said, April 9th at 8:31 a.m. They can do whatever they want.
Gotcha. All right, look, I got to go because we're I rearranged everything. I wanted to get you on, but I did want to have this conversation because I think again it was a lot of history and it was a lot of fun, and you ran a good ship, and I was glad to be a part of it. It definitely was an interesting ride, that's for sure, and I get it. I just figured, this is my last chance to poke some fun, and the rest of the time we're just gonna. Next time I see you, we're just gonna be staring at each other. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? I'm good. How are you? Okay. Now what?
We're going to be doing the same thing with each other. We just won't be behind a microphone or in front of a camera.
Yeah, careful what you wish for. I may bring you on once a month to do some kind of topic in your favor, but we'll see. My mind's already thinking ahead. I always think ahead.
Every 3 months, you can do a progress report if you want to.
Well, the thing is, I'm going to step it up, though. Anyway, I'll talk about that when I see you in person. But let's get you out of the business first. All right, ladies and gentlemen, from the Gulf Coast of Florida, New York Nick on his last pour out the door. He's closing down, retiring after his 200 years of being in entertainment, so to speak, from radio shows to bars, all of the above. Anything you want to leave my people with? Something to ponder?
In the immortal words of the Grateful Dead, what a long, strange trip it's been.
Amen. All right, buddy. I love you. I'm sorry I can't be there, and not that it matters. There'll be plenty of people to send you on home on that quiet ride home on the final drive. But it was a trip. It was now I got to find something else to do when I'm in town. Shit.
You just let me know when you're here. We'll do something. We'll go back to the future.
There we go. Great Scott, Marty.
We'll go back to the future without a DeLorean. How about that?
Yeah, hanging out's easy to do, and I just got to get situated. All right, brother. I love you. Just handle it, and I'll see you when I see you.
Thanks for the time, Pete. Yep. Good luck to you. I'll see you soon, sir.
Yeah, you will. Peace out.
All right, bye.
Bye. Well, there you have it. New York Nick. He's closing his doors. Radio shows done. Bars done. Pensacola, Florida. He had a nice little place. It was a good hang. 9 million TVs. He was always there hosting people, and I get it. It's tiresome. A lot of years. And then we do the radio show once a week. He had Radio Free Pensacola Nick's Picks, streaming worldwide. And I'd go when I was in town. If those of you on Facebook, you see all the short clips, we'd live stream onto Facebook, and we'd do all the stuff in between the music. And the jokes were free. There's some pretty good stuff there. Anyway, just wanted to make sure we got him. I needed to document that because when it's over, and there's no taking it back. 2 things I want to do before we leave. 2 things I want to leave you with, and this is for your own good, too. I'm not through with the whole Tesla thing and Elon and all the above. Everybody's bagging on the orange man, and he's only 2 months in, and it's like there's so many things that are going on that are already being done more than the past 4 years, and I just need to make sure that you are aware of these things, because none of this kind of stuff happened when we were under the other regime. And you believe what you want to believe, but here's Kate Monroe. I like Kate Monroe. She was a former Marine. And she's very active now in policy and what's right in this country, and being pro-country and doing what's right and to try to have a good country. But she's going to list a lot of these accomplishments that these other other business leaders are bringing into the United States within the next 4 years. Trillions of dollars. Just yesterday, Hyundai committed to bringing Hyundai manufacturing into Louisiana. Was that 20? No, it was 2 trillion? 2 trillion, I think. They're going to build their Hyundais in Louisiana and steel. 2 things. Every day something new is happening, but the mainstream media will not talk about it. So here's the things that just last week alone, the past 2 weeks, again, of all these major manufacturers going to be bringing their businesses into the United States, which then again creates jobs. See, because all about that tariff thing that they feared you about tariffs. Oh, tariffs. And all these companies, they know better. They know. So they're going to build here. The orange man knows what he's doing, folks. Sorry. All I can say is we'll see. But here's Kate Monroe. She's going to tell you she's got the list about just the companies that are being brought into this country that's going to change everything financially for the better.
You know, everybody wants to crap all over Trump and crap all over Elon Musk for them trying to save the financial standing of our country. So I've addressed previously all this money that they've been finding through Doge. But what we haven't addressed is how much money and revenue from other things that did not exist, other countries, other companies that didn't exist during the last administration that do exist now. Let's run through a couple of those and see if we can't get excited about what's going on. I don't think it's that difficult. United Arab Emirates, 1.4 trillion. That's B with the T, trillion. Saudi Arabia, 600 billion. Lilly, 27 billion. Hyundai, 20 billion. SoftBank, OpenAI, Oracle, 100 bills. Apple, 500 bills. Johnson & Johnson, 55 billion. CMA Group, 20 billion. NVIDIA, 100 billion. Taiwan Semiconductors, 100 billion. GE Aerospace, $1 billion. Merck, $1 billion. I don't know if we can do quick finger math, but this is a ludicrous amount of money that we have brought in to the country because we finally have a good CEO president in office. We should be freaking stoked. Stop all your little kid crying nonsense. Dirt yourself off and walk on. Put your party hats on because it's going to be something exciting, guys.
It is. And she's right. Not all, just the 7%ers. They've conditioned you to hate everything, no matter what we do, what he does, not we. And why are you hating? It's like, it's for your benefit, but you don't want it to be. You want to see failure. Tampon Tim, the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, was making fun of Elon on stage publicly. He's trying to do, some kind of rallies or whatever he's going to do. Good luck to him. He stepped all over himself. Bagging on the stock of the Tesla stock. He's showing his phone. He's got this stock app and he added Tesla and it's tanking. That dumbass didn't even know that his own state has so many shares invested in Tesla stock for the pension funds of all these of everybody in Minnesota. So if the stock tanks, all these people are going to lose their pensions, their money. The money's going to be gone. What a friggin' idiot. Now, fortunately, nobody gives a shit what he thinks and pointing to his phone and stock. Stock for Tesla is actually up. It's never going to fail. He's not going to fail because not everybody believes this. Only 7%ers are into that hate. Now, this is the final thing I want to spell out for you for tonight because this pretty much sums up what's going on, the way foreigners see the economic growth and what's going to be happening under our current president because he's a leader. Check this out.
Whatever you think of Trump, his economic plan makes complete sense. The US has 36 trillion in debt. In 2025, they will spend 6 trillion, but will only collect 4 trillion in revenue. So they need to borrow 2 trillion, and this will increase their debt to 38 trillion. Trump economic plan is based on 3 levers. Number 1, cut expenses by 1 trillion, which is Doge, Elon Musk. He's targeting waste and fraud, like social security payments for people who are 150 years old. That is just fraud. 2, increasing revenue by 1 to 2 trillion through, number 1, tariffs. They will increase tariffs from 50 billion to 500 billion target. People will say, but other countries will retaliate. They will not be able to do it. The US is the biggest customer on earth. They consume 20 trillion every year. They are the biggest importer. They import 3 trillion every year. Plus, the current tariffs is actually not fair. Why should US cars entering Europe faces 10% tariffs while the European cars entering the US just pay 2.5%? It's not fair. And because of the tariff changes, it now makes economic sense to build factories and businesses inside the US again. That means more jobs, means tax-paying businesses, and more foreign investment coming in. He will also increase revenue by deregulation. He will remove unnecessary regulations and rules, making it easier to do business, so business can grow faster, generate more tax revenues. He will also make this gold card, which is offering lifetime US residency for 5 million. I think at least 1 or 2 million individuals globally can afford it. So if just 10% of them, if just 100,000 people buy this card, that's 1 trillion in incremental revenue. The third lever is he will reduce taxes. if he successfully cut 1 trillion in waste and expenses and add 1 to 2 trillion in revenue, the US will have a surplus. They will have more money than they want. So he will cut taxes. For individuals, anyone gaining more than 150K, he will make them pay 0 taxes. And on corporate taxes, he will go down from the current 21% to 15%, compared to the European average of 22%. France average is 25, I think, and Germany is 30. So at 15% corporate tax, the US will become one of the most business attractive countries on earth. Bottom line, this is exactly how government should be run, efficiently. Because when you eliminate waste, the money can actually go where it is actually needed, to the elderly, to the sick, to people who cannot work. And that is the real purpose of government, to protect the weak. Very few countries have the political will to do it. It takes leaders with backbone, charisma, and clarity of vision. Do you have leaders in your country pushing for real reform, or are they talking about non-relevant side topics? And let me know if you think Trump's plan is bad, let me know why, because I think it is just common sense.
Common sense. Common sense. That's it, folks. I'm telling you. For those of you who are hell-bent on the Democratic Party to the death, good luck to you. But you need to stop the nonsense. That ship sailed. There's no common sense anymore. And they're not looking out for your best interest. They just want you to believe that. So do what you want to do. I appreciate you watching. For those of you who hung out and hung in there, even if you disagree with me. Can't wait to see you next week. Don't know what I'm doing next week. Right now, things are kind of up in the air. Again, I'm trying to get this writer who, I don't even want to say it, but again, real soon, if it's not next week, I'm going to try to squeeze him in. We're talking tomorrow, but he wrote a book about Eddie Van Halen. He's a Steven Rosen. He's got a book called Tone Chasers, and I'm going to have him on the show, hopefully, but we'll talk tomorrow. So I don't know if he's on next week. We're doing things. Things are kind of, I want to bring him in quick because I want to do that. It interests me, and we're going to talk about it, but not sure. So all I can say is stay tuned, kids. I want to thank everybody for paying attention. Thank you for joining me watching Life with Peter G, The Peter G Show, every Wednesday like clockwork, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, right here, doing what we do weekly, which is a good question sometimes, but I appreciate you. I love you guys for watching. Thank you. I want to hear from you. I do hear from a lot of you, sometimes not very good, but it is what it is. I can take it. I hope that I brought something of interest that, just at least, kept the light going in your head. It's my job, and I do it with love. I'm doing it for you. Whether you agree or disagree, it's up to you. Either way, I love you for tuning in. Thank you. Share, share, share. Please subscribe. Hit the subscribe, folks. That's what I need you to do me a solid. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, the official Facebook Peter G Show page, all the above, even the shorts on Instagram and TikTok and Rumble and BitChute and LinkedIn. I don't know, wherever you see me, we're all over the place. And subscribe on the podcast, the audio podcast. We're on all the majors, the Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, you name it, 26 different platforms. Hard to keep up with, but all you got to do is Google Peter G Show and you find all that, all right? I love you guys. I truly do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just be kind. It's kind of tough out there still. There's too much division. Please don't be doing stupid Tesla shit. Please. Please don't. Life is too short. Somebody's going to get hurt. People have families. You get so wrapped up in the bullshit, you forget that we're all human beings. Please stop. Grow up. It's not going to change anything. Life is going to keep moving forward. And for the better. And like I said, don't believe me? We'll see. My name is Peter G. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Be kind. You don't have to take a bunch of shit from people, but don't be an ass either. Think before you speak. I love you. Peace out.
Peter G Show. Peter G Show. Divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad. Peter G Show.